Welcome to my workshop. Let's discover what tools teach us about life. Take a look at this happy little tool. This is the Knipex Pliers Wrench 180 model. Now this goes up to about 1.5 inch in size, or I guess 40 millimeter. Now I want to kind of show you how big these jaws get, because here's a nut that's about 1.5 inches long, and at its highest it actually can probably do a little bit more than that. You won't have the best grip, but it actually can kind of do that. Now if I bring it up one more, I can get, even with this, you know, I have bigger hands, but you can get a lot of torque where this isn't like really tough to get out, and also like even doing that, it's barely doing anything to the surface. You can see a little bit of, if anything, it's shined up the surface. So that's the nice thing about having these jaws, is that they don't actually hurt anything, which is nice. Now, one of the biggest advantages to these wrenches, despite the fact that, you know, they are adjustable, is that they have a semi-ratcheting feature, right? So I'm pushing here, and then I can pull up, and I can pull back. And the way this is working, okay, is this is the arm, okay, this arm right here is the arm that I want to push. But you see it's kind of slipping. Now you can, if you have a lot of torque on there, you can keep it, but the second I let up and I try to do it again, sometimes it might slip. So you'll always want to make sure that this handle has a little bit, you barely need anything to hold that guy down, right? So I'm just, you know, and I can do this all day. It's really easy, no problems whatsoever. One of the great things about this, though, is once you get it started, right? Because now I'm holding this like this. If I had a tube, okay, I could bring in a tube, put it on here, and then really get some really good leverage on that. And that's a lot of fun to me. But I feel like with the 180 millimeter, you might not want to put that much leverage on it, but you know, I'm sure it'll hold up. It's pretty strong. You know, I would say though that its biggest negative is its learning curve. And that's okay, you know, you get more from life if you're just willing to learn new things. And when you first pick up this wrench, because this is right here, you know, it feels natural, but it's really easy to, if I were to go like this, right? Let's open that up a bit. If I was, and then pull here, if I'm trying to pull this way, right? Then you're gonna slip. Like you gotta use a lot of force to get that to go. You can make it go, but also it's hard, and you can't really get that ratcheting action that well back, right? So you always want to make sure you're pushing this arm. So you always want to make sure if you're going this way, you're pushing. You got to turn it around. You know, you're pushing. And that's how you want to use these guys, right? So I gotta say, you know, having a little learning curve is not a big problem, but I think what we should talk about here is how to use these single-handed, okay? A lot of people say you need your two hands. You know, you push your button there, then you slide it to your desired, you know, so here's your bolt, right? And then I'm sliding it, okay, I got it, boom. Or actually, let's do it on here, okay? Perfect, right here. So, oh, and now I got, oh, I need one more. All right, so see how that's a little fiddly to you know, use with with two hands. I don't like it, and I understand why this would turn people off of using this, because quite frankly, using it with two hands feels cumbersome. But there is a way to use this with a single hand, and I've kind of might have already done it, but it's, you know, just using it that way, right? I always use this handle, right? And I'll put it on something, whether it's my body or the table, and then I can open it up fully that's just a single hand. I haven't used this hand at all. In fact, I'll take it away here, right? Now, I can use the other hand to clamp down, right? So I go here, okay, go here, let's go a little bit closer here. And now I'm on there, still not good. Boom, right? This hand was only holding the piece of wood there, right? So again, we can show you that, okay? So I usually brace this on something like my body or a ladder or the table, right? And then it's just braced on my hand right now, right? But I can show you on the table here, or like on this bolt here, right? Right? Now I'm going very slow with this, and then on here, get it locked into position. You got to wait for it to click, because then it's not going to do anything if it's not clicked, right? And it's that simple, right? Here's another bolt right here. I didn't wait for it to click. There you go. It clicked. I got it now. Now, obviously, when you're doing this, every now and again, it's going to be a bit wider than you would like. Like if I'm using two hands, right, and I have this bolt here, this bolt here, right, and now I can get it where the handle is in its optimal position for this bolt, right? But as you saw, that took a lot of time. Whereas if I, use the table to open it up, okay, wait for it to, oh, and there you go. That time I got it great, right? But sometimes you might not get it in its optimal position. So let's show that. There you go. Well, I keep getting in its optimal position. So lucky me. But with this one, maybe one, yeah, I think this bolt is half, there we go. So sometimes you might get something like this, where it's a little bit more open, right? So you're not going to be able to hit as much torque on it, right? If it's like that. So that is the downside to the single-handed method. Sometimes you'll get an opening like this when you want an opening that's more, I mean, as you can see, sometimes, it can still be finicky, but normally I have a easy time here. I'm just, because I'm actually trying to show something. It's actually not working, but you can see how fast I can go here. And again, I didn't wait for it to click before I pushed the handles together, right? There you go. So, I mean, it's great single-handed option here. What can I show you here? So you have a piece of wood here, right? Just pushing it against that wood allows you to open it single-handedly. Okay? And that's great. You have it open. And you want to get on this bolt, right? Like sometimes I can even do that where I can use whatever's in the back if it's a close bolt, and now I have, now I have it in there, right? But if I can't, and I can get my hands back there, right? Now I just did that single-handedly. You've seen this hand the entire time holding this guy here, and I've just gone now for 5 minutes probably about hand holding this, so here's a banana for scale, a little wiggly banana. Before this tool, for me, a tool was just a tool. I had no desire to collect tools or find tools that worked better than what I'd already been using, I never thought that I would care about tools, or that tools could be something that brought me joy, and I guess that's kind of an interesting point, because unexpectedly finding something new that brings joy to your life makes life worth living. Thanks for coming to my workshop.